In a period when the Debt Management Office has announced that the Nigerian foreign debt has reached 49.85 trillion naira and our population has continued to increase, we need to change our consumption habits and borrow for production. Shifting our energy demands to a more sustainable one is one change we need to make if we must reduce our consumption level. Welcome to day 2 of the Next President reality TV show, and I'll bring in our aspirants to talk extensively on this topic. My name is Mary Vallis. I'm reaching you live from the Next President reality TV show house, and I'll be your host for today. Stay tuned.
Okay. Good afternoon once again, Your Excellencies. It's nice seeing your faces once more. And well, yesterday all of you did well, very, very well. Maybe you should clap for yourselves. But today, as far as the judges are concerned, today is the main day. Okay? And today, time is very, very important for the judges. And today, you are going to look at agriculture relating to consumption and production, a step-by-step approach. All right? But maybe in general terms, we are going to see how you can bring your economic blueprint and speak about it and let us know how you intend tackling such kind of things. And remember, what we told you yesterday is that we are going to evict some of you from the houses if we feel you've not done very, very well. It is part of our requirement and part of our job as judges to do it. But like I said yesterday, this is just an eye-opener. Only God knows where we are all going to meet tomorrow. Is that not? Opportunities are coming day by day. And if you notice, I was trying to snap some of your pictures because someone asked me to do that. And before the end of this week, we are going to be having some top personnel who are going to be coming to the house to speak with you guys and to tell you, and probably if they are impressed, they will relate to the judges and will know where to fix one or two of you. So we realize that due to the Nigerian economy and the strengths that we have, some of you, by the special grace of God, like we said, are going to be offered job employment by next year. While some of you were thinking of seeing how we can be able to train some of you, while most of you are going to be given a scholarship admission with one of the partners partnering with this organization, SRTV. So if you don't have your manifesto today, which we have asked you to do that, consider that we are going to reduce your points today. Automatically. Because we begged you people yesterday, and we don't see the reason why you shouldn't have your manifesto, because SRTV told us that that is part of your criteria, the criteria they gave you. So if you don't have your manifesto today, consider it that we are going to reduce your points automatically. Okay? So please, we wish you the best. Like we are going to do, some of you, all of you will go upstairs while we'll be calling you one after the other like we did yesterday. Like we said, your presentation carries 5 minutes, and the questions the judges are going to give you for your answer is 5 minutes. Okay, so we wish you the best, and the task, as far as we are concerned, the task begins today. So please kindly go up while we call you state by state. Yes. Observations?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Greetings to you.
Sit down.
Greetings to our panel of judges. We should for asking, I don't know if it's possible. Can we submit the soft copies if we have them? Or type one submitting for our manifesto?
The hard copies.
Okay, thank you, sir.
The same observation I want to raise. Most of us here don't have the printed copy of our manifestos, and we are all new in this area here. We don't know where to go and print them. We also asked one of the staff here working, if I can see any place to print mine.
get back to you guys on that. Let's
Any
get to
other
the business of the day.
Yes.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Akujiro, good day to you. Sir, my observation or question is this. Before we left our comfort zones coming to this great event, yes, we are told that we are going to present our manifesto, which I thought we began the presentation yesterday. I was like thinking it's going to be oral presentation the manifesto because we presented it before the names of the company. I don't know
Yeah, today you go straight into the topic of the day.
Today you are not going to manifesto again. You presented your manifesto yesterday. Today you are going straight to the topic of the day. And that is why when I started, I said the topic for today says agriculture from consumption
From production to consumption.
from production to consumption is step by step. If you listen to me very well. Okay.
Still on the assistant principal, sir. You asked us to present our manifesto. I was like thinking that the manifesto we're going to present is the same 5 minutes video we presented to.
I need your hard copy of that. I don't know how you intend doing it. Manifesto, what is manifesto?
Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir. To add this to what he said, after we all emerged as the state governors, we were actually not asked to write any written manifesto. I believe in the platform there are governors that asked Mr. Kenneth that we writing. He said, no, you are only to present.
Yesterday I addressed you people, I said we need a hard copy of the manifesto. And any serious politician that is coming to a contest, no matter who told him or anything, you are supposed to have a hard copy of your manifesto. If you are going for a contest, how do you tell people that this is what they do? You just tell them by mouth. They have to use those things so that when you emerge as the youth president of SRT, that is the word you will use. If you don't follow what is written on paper, then I don't know how you intend doing that. But you were told yesterday, I personally said that you guys should print out your manifesto. Yes.
Speaking on the hard copy, are we giving each to a judge or one to the whole judge panel?
One to the judge is okay. To save, but if your capacity can give us everything, we don't mind. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, journalists. Good afternoon, my fellow excellencies. I still want to add to what you've said. So for the manifesto, I'm sure over 90% of us here do not have the hard copies, and I'm trying to plead on behalf of the excellencies we have here. If we're given the
You are
grace
pleading on what capacity?
on the capacity that we didn't know earlier about this, and when you told us
Have
yesterday,
you elected the chairman of the governors forum?
Just Today, today.
I'm not going to listen to you.
so I'm bringing a proposal actually. Most of them have soft copies. If
Most of them. How about you?
Yes, I do
I'm not
too.
going to listen to you. Sorry.
I want to gather everything together and see if
I am
we
still
can
not going to listen to you. Sorry. Any other person? You are pleading, you
Yes,
plead
sir.
for yourself.
Another observation, sir. According to the release timetable of the series of events and presentations, we are to present our manifestos on the final day.
According to who?
According to timetable release,
yes.
You are to present.
our manifesto presentation is coming
When
on.
you come to a house on a contest like this, rules changes. Okay? Good. So we are telling you that we need your physical manifesto. Now give us a minute, let's discuss, we'll get back to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Move your chairs carefully.
In a a period when the Debt Management Office has announced that the Nigerian foreign debt has reached 49.85 trillion naira and our population has continued to increase, we need to change our consumption habits and borrow for production. Shifting our energy demands to a more sustainable one is one change we need to make if we must reduce our consumption level. Welcome to day 2 of the Next President reality TV show, and I'll bring in our aspirants to talk extensively on this topic. My name is Mary Vallis. I'm reaching you live from the Next President reality TV show house, and I'll be your host for today. Stay tuned.
afternoon, Your Excellency.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
The Youth Governor of Adamawa State.
Yes, sir.
Once again, you tell us your name. In 5 minutes, tell us what you intend doing for the topic of today, agriculture from production to consumption. Under 5 minutes. Time is very important. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Fanuel Babali. I am the Executive Youth Governor representing Adamawa State and presidential hopeful. The topic for discussion today is agriculture from consumption to production, a step-by-step approach. Historically, before the discovery of oil in the 1980s, Nigeria has basically lived on agriculture, from the granite pyramid in Kano to the palm trees, to the palm oil production and palm kernel production in the southern region of Nigeria. Then looking at the eastern region of Nigeria also, where we have palm kernel production as well. Well, if you look at it, with the discovery of oil, agriculture has become a second option, but it has been our main essence of existence, and it has been our main income for our revenue generation as a nation. From the 1960 to 1967, it has shown that agriculture has contributed 54.7% to our GDP, and it has also contributed 43% of our export income. But the National Statistics, the National Bureau for Statistics, they released that in the past 5 years, agriculture has only contributed 23% to our GDP and 4.1% to our export generation from our export, which simply shows that there's a drastic drop from the rate at which agriculture is being invested into. Now, one of the problems we have right now is that with the discovery of oil, it has been seen that oil is the new wealth for Nigeria as a nation. As a young man, every young man like myself, his future or his plan is to see that he gets an oil-paid job. That's why sometimes when you see a young person earning well, you say it's oil money, because oil has taken all the attention of Nigerians. Our focus has been focused on oil, where agriculture is basically left or seen as a poor man's work. Because if you look at agriculture in Nigeria now, it is basically focused on subsistence agriculture. Most people that engage in agriculture, they lack the capacity to produce more than what they can consume for they and themselves and their family. So therefore, looking at it, movement from consumption to production, one of the things we need to do is firstly to promote the as I said yesterday, the first solution to every problem is the sensitization. You need to sensitize your mind that agriculture, especially to our young minds, is not a poor man's job. People are living well on agriculture. I know a person who has lived and is still living well on agriculture, is a wealthy person. So we need to sensitize it that unlike what we have, the notion we have, the thinking we have, that agriculture is a poor man's business. No, agriculture is very vital to every economy, and every well-meaning young person that wants to see the economy grow. That's why the past administration of General Muhammadu Buhari, the focus was to divert Nigerian economy from oil to agriculture. And if you looked at it, there was increase in rice production, because they brought in policies that promoted rice. For example, we looked at places like Zamfara, Sokoto, and the likes of them, where the government gave lands, they gave seedlings, farmers farmed on that land, government in return purchased that rice in order to promote food security for the nation. So a step-by-step approach to achieving stage of production, not only consumption, is by firstly involving our people. I can remember they said there's this particular thing people say mostly in the north. Forgive me to say it in Hausa. It is commonly said in the Hausa. They say Babayache koma kowa koma gona. It is the first step for us to engage in agriculture. That means let us go back to our farmland. Every person that have a farmland should know that food security is very vital for every nation. If we can have food security first as a nation to feed ourselves, then we can start looking at the approach towards exporting more. Not only rice that I've said, cocoa has been also, in the past, in the history, we have seen cocoa has been one of the major export products produced in Nigeria. But if you look at it now, it has dropped drastically. In 1986, I read that Malaysia came to Nigeria to pick seedlings, palm kernel seedlings. But if you look at it now, Malaysia is one of the highest oil producing states, which shows that they picked the seedlings from Nigeria, engaged and their people in production, and now it is a source of major revenue for generation for that nation. It is one of the top oil producing states. Therefore, what we need to do is now engage our people, engage both the rich, the poor, especially the rich people of Nigeria. It is very important to know that these resources should be channeled not only to
Okay, thank you. Not only to the oil sector, but our agricultural sector need investment too. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, do you have a question for me, sir?
Your Excellency, first of all, I have to give you kudos for your composure, boldness, presentation, and truly I would say you actually know what you want and what you intend to do. But my question is this.
Yes, sir.
You know, in Nigeria, it's not that we don't want to produce, and it's not that we just want to be consuming. But as we all know, the enabling environment, the security architecture, the resources, support is one of our major challenges. As a president, how do you intend to diversify the attention of people? How do you intend to make people see hope in agriculture? How do you intend to boost the economy of the nation drastically through agriculture when people are not ready to go to farm? People are just as you said, people just want to be producing what them and their family will consume. So how do you intend to get this done? To diversify the entire nations back to agriculture?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I think while discussing earlier in the red corner of the house with my fellow housemates, somebody mentioned something. He said, Israel said if they give them the land, empty land in Sokoto, they can feed the world, and we laughed over it. Even though I don't know the authenticity of the data. But one thing I know is Nigeria is blessed with vast land. And all we need to do to ensure to diversify our attention back to agriculture and increase productivity is to ensure that we make agriculture look lucrative. How can we make agriculture look lucrative? Here is the thing. We bring in investors. If we should have investors, both international and domestic investors, to invest in the agricultural sector. Example, if a company, we can have a company that produces, I think wheat is needed for most of oatmeal and the likes of them. If we can have such a company come to Nigeria, put demands for this particular product, and you know that if you can produce this product, there are people ready to buy it. That means there will be high level of production in that particular field. I can remember last year, there was high demand for soya beans because they said there is a company purchasing it. I'm from Adamawa State, and I've seen many people go into soya beans farming because there was high demand for soya. So at the end of the day, we saw the price of a bag of soya beans increasing because there was demand for it. So if you make agriculture look lucrative, if I know that I have an empty land, and if I can go into this particular business, I can make profit. I know somebody that collected loan to go into dry season farming of rice, and he has made a ton out of it. So if you can make agriculture look lucrative, which I think under General Muhammadu Buhari's administration, there were grants given by the government, which are part of the things I think of we should have an opportunity to serve Nigerians. It's part of the things we will do. There will be agricultural grants, whereby even if you have the land, you don't have demand, you don't have the financial power to invest on those lands. There is agricultural grants, which at the end of the farming season, government is not giving you free. One of the major problems we have in Nigeria is there is no government gives out policies or gives out funds without monitoring it. But under this, we will ensure that this money is channeled into this particular task. And at the end of the farming season, we will ensure that this money is returned.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Do you have a question for him?
Yes. Please, do you think the Nigerian government are not educating consumers enough about the importance of production and consumption?
Okay. I think the answer will be a yes and a no, because the task of educating the masses, it's both for the government and for ourselves. So if we take the task serious as citizens of Nigeria, so we are all at the receiving end, because the government, in as much as it is doing its quota, which I've never seen a government publication promoting or sensitizing the people on this particular aspect. It might exist, but I have not seen it. So it is our task, firstly, as people that are so concerned about the growth of Nigeria. Especially, we have technocrats in the field of agriculture who can educate us about how to move, because as little as a common man in the rural area without even funding or anything, I know that if you meet a technocrat in the field of agriculture, he has an advice that will promote sensitization among the people. So it is our task as technocrats, as concerned Nigerians, to take it upon ourselves. Every knowledge you have that will promote Nigeria, you need to give it out.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, the Adamawa State Governor. You mentioned 1986 in Malaysia when you read that agriculture is very, very important using technology, okay? And that has drawn my attention to ask you this question. How does technology advancement affect the process of agriculture in Nigeria? And how? Do you understand my question?
Yes, sir.
And why?
Okay, so for example, we have Nigerians that produce rice, but the only problem that stops the patronage of made in Nigerian rice is you agree with me that it's stones. And this process of removal of stone is only done with a machine, which most of the rice producing locally, people that produce rice locally do not have access to it. So if we should have machines, these advanced machines that do this, because if you look at a country like Thailand, there is no process like our mothers used to do. They will cook the rice first before taking it to the engine to mill bag that, to remove the bag. They have a machine specially for that. It will parboil it, take it to the process, filter, remove the stone, and final product it will be refined. So one of the major problems we have is we lack this advanced technology in refining our product. We can have the product, but what the stops our product from thriving in the international market is this refine and expertise that they give, their machines give to their product. That is what I think.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Yes, once again, I'll start with you today. I'll insist that according to part of the criteria of SRTV, you have to work more on your vote, okay, and tag your presentations to SRTV social media handles, and probably you will see your followers and see what they're commenting about you, because these are part of the criteria, okay? So we wish you the best, and we hope to see you in our next conference.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
In a period when the Debt Management Office has announced that the Nigerian foreign debt has reached 49.85 trillion naira and our population has continued to increase, we need to change our consumption habits and borrow for production. Shifting our energy demands to a more sustainable one is one change we need to make if we must reduce our consumption level. Welcome to day 2 of the Next President reality TV show, and I'll bring in our aspirants to talk extensively on this topic. My name is Mary Vallis. I'm reaching you live from the Next President reality TV show house, and I'll be your host for today. Stay tuned. In a period when the Debt Management Office has announced that the Nigerian foreign debt has reached 49.85 trillion naira and our population has continued to increase, we need to change our consumption habits and borrow for production. Shifting our energy demands to a more sustainable one is one change we need to make if we must reduce our consumption level. Welcome to day 2 of the Next President reality TV show, and I'll bring in our aspirants to talk extensively on this topic. My name is Mary Vallis. I'm reaching you live from the Next President reality TV show house, and I'll be your host for today. Stay tuned. In a period when the Debt Management Office has announced that the Nigerian foreign debt has reached 49.85 trillion naira and our population has continued to increase, we need to change.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, you tell us once again your name. In 5 minutes, you tell us what you intend doing for the topic for today. And under 5 minutes, the judges will ask you questions and you answer. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, distinguished panel of judges. My name is Sani Theophilus Obaje, the Executive Governor representing the good people of Kogi State. I am here to speak on agriculture and majorly the topic that deals with consumption to production. Unfortunately for Nigeria, we've been a consuming country over the years, and in recent times, it has shown that agriculture has contributed more to our GDP, even more than oil. In the 2021 report that was released, it was shown that agriculture contributed to 5% to our country's GDP as compared to oil that contributed about 8.5%. And this can be more, because if you check the Nigerian system, we are currently the largest producer of yam, currently the largest producer of cassava, we have the largest producer of cocoa, rubber, and other cash crops that can be exported that could increase our foreign reserves. We take these things out, in exchange for dollar, that will increase the value for our naira, try to appreciate our naira and stabilize the economy. Unfortunately, this has not been so. So, if I become president, I want to see that these issues are solved systematically, a step-by-step approach. The first thing I will do is increase production. Over 70% of Nigerians are subsistence farmers who go into agriculture on a small scale, just for their family and for members of the extended family and all of that. And if that capacity can be increased, I think can start exporting things out of this country. Benue State today is known as the food basket of the nation, but that's already translated into the name it's been accorded to. Go to Benue today, you don't get to see industries. We have the farm produce and issue of food insecurity now, whereby we have the produce, but the processing of these things are not there. So what we will do is to create a value chain of production, of processing, and of storage. A value chain of production where we can bring increased or new improved varieties of crops that can thrive in the Nigerian system. A classical example is what Babaguna is doing in Kaduna State. Babaguna started an initiative to see how they can increase production in Nigeria by employing youth into the system. In 2013, they tried bringing improved variety of maize, and this increased the capacity of maize production in Kaduna State more than twice the normal production. This is an example of what we can implement when I become the president of Nigeria. This will be implemented across every state in Nigeria, from the south to the east to the north. They have their own peculiar crops that can be grown. That's for the issue of production. Increasing our production, bringing new improved varieties of crops. Then the issue of processing. We try as much as possible to see that we bring industries that could process these things. Go to Kano today. They produce tomatoes in large quantities, but for whatever reason, we don't get these things processed on time, and when we get to export them, we don't get to bring a final product from them. Why? Because we do not have the capacity to process these things as at when due. These are perishable goods that will not even last for a very long period of time. So we increase our processing capacity by bringing in industries that will process these things into other finished goods. Another thing we'll do is storage. We've had issues with storage in the past. You have farmers go to a farm, they harvest all of this produce, but they cannot store them because of lack of capacity to store them. And the incentive from government is not even forthcoming. They don't get encouraged, they don't get to do so much. So in a nutshell, what we'll do is to increase our production, processing, and our storage in every form.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Do you have a question for him, sir?
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, you are welcome once again.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for the boldness and your readiness for us, because it's obvious that you are very much ready for this presentation. But you were talking about the storage, the level of processing, and everything. If elected as a president, what modalities are you ready to put in place to increase our production? If you will agree with me, in Nigeria, our level of consumption is higher than our production. We consume more than what we produce. So how do you intend to increase the production, considering all the factors mitigating our level of production? At the same time, how do you intend to store them? Now, when we produce enough and we don't store them, we will end up losing what we produce. So we still go back to square one. So how do you intend to increase our production that will supersede our consumption? Because we cannot do all this exportation you are talking about if you are not producing enough. So we must produce enough that will be enough for us in the country and also be enough for us to export to increase our economy. So how do you intend to increase our production, considering all the factors mitigating that production?
Thank you so much for the question, sir. In terms of production, first thing, we'll bring in improved varieties of crops that can give larger output compared to what we have today. We'll try to see how we can, subsidize agriculture, to farmers by giving them incentive, bringing in solutions or helping them to grow better crops, providing fertilizer.
Government give them grants, seedlings, fertilizers every year.
They do that, but it's not followed up. If you go to the Ministry of Agriculture today, they already have a list of people that they earmarked already for those things. So most times, it does not even get to the rural farmers. It doesn't get to the final consumers. It doesn't get to the final consumers as it's supposed to be. There's already a leakage in the system that does not even allow it to get to the end users. You just have some few persons, having to bring these things. And most times, you even have issues of these things being sold. Government provide these things. They're supposed to be free, but you have people selling these things to make profit out of it. So the leakage in the system is one thing we try to address. So that the government does not just have these things provided, they make sure it gets to the final consumers for the best output. Now, for the issue of storage, sir, talk about storage. As much as possible, we'll try to see that the government facilities we have are better improved, and we bring in new modern way of storing things. Kano is a very large market. Benue State is also another very large market. For those strategic locations we have this crop being produced, we bring in a government intervention of having a storage system, being funded by the government. Now maybe a partnership, a public-private partnership, because that's the best way to increase these things. A private person will want to put in money into something and will want to see results. So a public-private partnership with people who are ready to, bring funds to help this storage is all.
Thank you. I have a question.
All right, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, I have to ask you, I'm tempted to ask you two questions.
Okay, sir.
Because, like he said, it seems you are ready for this, okay? So let me blow you. You'll be the first person I'm going to bombard question now. Number one, how do changes in consumer demand for agriculture impact production decision?
So can I come with the question?
How do changes in consumer demand impact agriculture production decision?
Okay. Let me just give a scenario that will address that. Changes in consumer demand, increasing agricultural production outputs. Now, in Nigeria, for instance, we produce maize, very large quantities, especially in the north. And so the maize is the major thing, but there's an end product coming from it. You can get cornflakes and all of. So if we have consumers in Nigeria who are more into taking of cornflakes, golden more, and every other thing that has to do with maize, then it means it's going to affect that sector or that particular production of maize. So that will increase, or that will make capacity for production of maize to increase in that order, so that you can meet up with the increasing demand. The law of demand and supply will work in that way. You meet up with the current demand by increasing your supply.
There's something I didn't get when you are doing your presentation regarding to that. I really want to know the role of government policy. Your government policy is stimulating production. I want to know the role of your government in giving the mandate policy in stimulating production.
First of all, providing improved varieties of crops, incentive to farmers in terms of fertilizer provision, and in terms of creating an enabling environment.
Consumption habits and borrow for production. Shifting our energy demands to a more sustainable one is one change we need to make if we must reduce our consumption level. Welcome to day 2 of the Next President reality TV show, and I'll bring in our aspirants to talk extensively on this topic. My name is Mary Vallis. I'm reaching you live from the Next President reality TV show house, and I'll be your host for today. Stay tuned. In a period period when the Debt Management Office has announced that the Nigerian foreign debt has reached 49.85 trillion naira and our population has continued to increase, we need to change our consumption habits and borrow for production. Shifting our energy demands to a more sustainable one is one change we need to make if we must reduce our consumption level.
The naira keeps depreciating over time because we import more things than we export. So you have an exchange for naira. Dollar is, being exchanged for naira. While in the real sense, they are supposed to export more, so we can get dollar into our own economy that could stabilize the economic challenges we have. So ultimately, economy reality is to change the fact that we can stimulate production and increase our exports to stabilize the economy of the Nigerian system. Agriculture is actually the best or the good way to go for Nigeria now.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for trying to be sincere in your government policy, and we wish you the best. Keep it up. You have been doing well. You started well, and we hope you finish well.
Amen, sir.
Okay. So once again, what we want to advise you is to work on your vote, okay, which is very, very important, and also tell your presentations once more to SRTV social media handles, and let's see what your supporters are able to do, because it's also part of the criteria that the judges are going to use to score you. So we wish you the best, and we hope that you're skillful.
Amen, sir. All right. Thanks. So once again, I want to employ all my supporters to keep watching SRTV and to keep supporting us by their votes. The votes keep counting, and is the major criteria for this contest. So I remain your humble youth governor from Kogi State, Sani Theophilus Obade. Thank you, and God bless SRTV.
Welcome to day 2 of the Next President reality TV show, and I'll bring in our aspirants to talk extensively on this topic. My name is Mary Vallis. I'm reaching you live from the Next President reality TV show house, and I'll be your host for today. Stay tuned. In a period when the Debt Management Office has announced that the Nigerian foreign debt has reached 49.85 trillion naira and our population has continued to increase, we need to change our consumption habits and borrow for production. Shifting our energy demands to a more sustainable one is one change we need to make if we must reduce our consumption level. Welcome to day 2 of the Next President reality TV show, and I'll bring in our aspirants to talk extensively on this topic. My name is Mary Vallis. I'm reaching you live from the Next President reality TV show house, and I'll be your host for today. Stay tuned. In a period when the Debt Management Office has announced
Executive Governor of Enugu State. Huh? Okay, thank you very much. In 5 minutes, you will tell us introduce yourself once again, and then you will tell us your name. In 5 minutes, you will tell us what you intend doing for the topic for today. And the judges, in 5 minutes, we are going to ask you questions and reply.
Hope she's not thinking as you're saying 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It's like that's like 15 minutes.
No, it's just 10 minutes.
It's just 5 minutes for you to introduce yourself and do the presentation. We also have 5 minutes to ask you questions, so that's 10 minutes in total. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Joy Nkiro Gachukunoni. I am the Executive Youth Governor and led for Enugu State. So, the journey from consumption to production is not just a necessity, but a complex and ever-evolving process that shapes the food landscape of our country. Taking a look at the current state of agriculture in Nigeria, despite having fertile soil and favorable climate, our country remains a net importer of food. And this is a major concern and contributes to food insecurity in Nigeria. The first step to improving agricultural productivity is investing in research and development. This includes funding agricultural research institutions, providing them with necessary resources to develop research technologies, crop varieties, and farming methods that are adapted to our local conditions. Another critical step is providing farmers with access to funding and capital. Most farmers lack the capital to invest in modern farming technologies, such as improved seeds and irrigation systems, and I'm certain that this will help them improve their yields and increase their income. So infrastructure is also critical for food security and agricultural productivity. This includes building better roads, storage facilities, and markets that make it easier for farmers to transport their products to markets and sell them at fair prices. This will reduce post-harvest wastes. And also, agro-processing is a critical step that improves agricultural productivity. This involves transforming raw materials or raw agricultural products into value-added products that can be sold that can be improved and sold in higher prices, both locally and exported to other countries. So through taking these steps, I think we can reduce food imports, wastage, and increase food security and contribute to sustainable development in Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
You have to give her a good score for doing on time. Well, let's hear from you.
Okay. I'm just wondering, what is responsible consumption and production?
Responsible production and consumption. Okay, responsible production and consumption. Wow, Jesus, questions, please. Okay. We should first of all, this question is very well balanced, will of Jesus. Okay, responsible production and consumption. First, looking at our population growth, I think we can use that as.
Calm down, just calm down. Take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and continue.
Okay,
And let's
thank
go.
you. I think we should utilize and minimize the rate of food we import, the rate of imported products, that's first of all, and then increase and mobilize farmers to produce more. To produce more, not more for wastage, and more that will get wasted. Mobilize them in the sense that what they are producing, they should have access or methods or process whereby they can be able to reach the population to avoid wastage. And then we'll cut down on importation of canned foods, which are not even good for the health of our citizens.
Augusta, do you have a question for her?
She's already overwhelmed with everything she's doing. Well done, Your Excellency.
Thank you, sir.
You are from the southeastern part of the country, and we all know that we all know how the social factor and economic factor is affecting the smallholder farmers in the southeastern part of the country.
Yes.
How are you going to get solution to that?
first of all, the Southeast is not really known for producing most farm products in Nigeria. They don't, they are not really known for farming compared to the northern parts.
That's a small holder. No, it's not.
Yes, it's not large. It's not everybody that engages in agriculture in the east. So I think, first of all, it's security in the southeast. I think it's a factor that contributes to it because the misunderstanding they have with all these what is it called, cow rearers eating, attacking their farms and destroying products. We'll have to work on that. And then secondly, I think we mobilize more farmers. We encourage them, give them loans or grants to be able to enlarge or broaden their agricultural. I don't know the right word to use for that.
All
Sorry.
right, thank you very much. I think they've bombarded you with questions.
Already
Calm
confused.
yourself down because let me ask you a simple question.
Okay.
Can you please tell me in person, maybe not for the other judges, in person, what is consumption and how does it differ from production?
When you're consuming, you're making use of it, you're utilizing it. Production is different because you are the one making it. Consumption, you're taking, you're using it, you're utilizing it. But production, you're the one making it, you're the one producing, you're the one preparing it. That's just the difference between, in my own opinion, that's the difference between consumption and production.
I think I've been fair to you, right?
Yes, you have.
All right. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Enugu State. Well, I will still say that the way I used to say that you have to improve on your vote, okay? Improve on your vote at the same time again, your social media handle, tag your presentation from SRTV social media handle, and probably from the comment of your followers, we are going to see how we can be able to score you better. Since they say what a man can do, a woman can do better.
I did not say that. I'm not an advocate for.
It's obvious you are after consumption, but you don't want to produce very well. So, but there's no problem. We wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
You want to say something?
No.
All right. Thank you.
I'm Ambassador Patriot Iku David Adeje, the Youth Governor-elect Kwara State. I actually